In this video, Daily Race A, I go rallycrossing in a Super Formula car. Daily Race B, I pull Lando Norris and overtake off the circuit. And in Daily Race C, I accidentally pick the wrong Ferrari. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2025, week 50, and all the new content has arrived all at once in terms of the daily races. First up then, the circuit Gilles-Villeneuve in the background, and we're in Super Formula. We're doing 7 laps here on week slipstream. It's a grid start without the false start checks, that's critical. Racing soft tyres, and of course we are in Super Formula. So you got the choice of the Toyota or the Honda. Now, most people are picking the Honda now, just because it does feel a bit more stable over the bumps. However, the Toyota is still just as quick, so you can choose what you like. I chose the Toyota, just a heads up. Now, in terms of the timestamps, they are there for you if you don't want to do Daily Race A, because there are some very big sausages and some very big Kerbs that want to kill you. However, Race B, Race C, not so much of an issue with Kerbs. Maybe track limits, but C's got the strategy in there as well, but we'll get to them shortly. In terms of key statistics, well, dash. We've not used it before, have we? Of course we haven't. Now, in terms of issues, slipstream is insane in these cars. Weak slipstream with Super Formula is absolutely baffling. I don't know why they chose to do that. And some Kerbs are deadly here. They really are. You clip them, you go flying. Well, let's jump into this daily race then, and let's have a look at exactly what happens, all the crazy action, and I'll give you a lap guide straight after it and tell you how to do this brand new circuit. Right, here we are then at the start. Ugandan starting in pole position. We're starting down in P11. Unfortunately, this isn't 16-car race, but even so, here we are. Remember, no penalty check here. So foot to the floor, traction control on 1, and you don't have to hold the brake or press the brake at all. It will just go and the start. I think Hamsey was holding the brake there because it struggles with the start as we head towards turn number 1. Here, you have to be very cautious. Indeed, side-by-side action, effectively mimicking a Formula 1 racer, if I do say so myself, as we go through side-by-side. Just be careful on the exit here. The cars are very slippy on this circuit. We're still side by side with Mario Sonic now as we head in towards the right left here. As we go through the left, then we continue on through, and we do actually get P10 there as we continue on towards the next chicane, and onto the brakes we go. Up ahead, Hamster's just got down the inside of the Austrian there a little bit, and now trying to wait up there. We're trying to go through the middle as it all gets all a bit confusing, but we're up into P8, so we've made some progress here as we go into the right then left. I had about 15 minutes to try this track this morning as Hoagie is spinning around there. Look at that one in the bloopers, but I never raced this track before today, so for 15 minutes before this race I gave it a shot just to get learning. As Jimmy Kiwi now off the circuit, out the hairpin. We'll check that one in the bloopers as well as we head towards the final corner. And that was greatly shot by the size of these sausages. Look at this as I went through here as we catch up to the pack ahead. We are now in the thick of the action. Sparks getting a 2-second penalty. Must have hit someone there as we head towards turn number 1. Not sure where to go here. I think Sparks was backing out of that as we go into this left-hander. Probably a smart decision, better decision there due to the penalty. That way you're not wasting too much time, but hey, it's up to you what you do here. So cheers, Sparks, I appreciate it. On the inside of Blue Racer then as we head towards the chicane, and we are now up another position, already in P4 after 15 minutes practice and 4 hours sleep. Happy days indeed. We're doing all right here, aren't we? So we're going to head towards the next chicane here at Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve. Get the car slowed there, trying to avoid these sausages as best as we can. Max power on the outside of the Dutch driver then as we head down towards the hairpin. Obviously, this is quite a famous corner for Kubica's absolutely insane G-force instance here a fair few years ago now. As we go around the hairpin on the outside of the Dutch driver, we make it work. We are up 2 more positions. We're up into P2, all said and done. But this is where the slipstream really kicks in now. So I'm using the overtake here, but look how fast the Dutch driver catches up to me now. They weren't too far away there, so fortunately for me they couldn't get the slingshot that they needed as we head to the chicane here, and the wall of champions up ahead as we continue on through, and just trying to avoid the sausage as best as we can. Lap number 3 here, we go into this right-hander. I've just got a bit deep here, so I've compromised myself. I thought I'd escape here and have an easy end to the race, but not so in this scenario as we get towards the hairpin here. We're going to go through here, and I think there's a small bit of contact, nothing major here, but we leave this corner with so many cars behind us, and the Dutch driver has a bigger slingshot this time as well. I'm trying to spam that overtake just to remain ahead of them so I can pull away again. Unfortunately for me, the weak slipstream is just so powerful. No way of keeping his position, so I'm going to have to back out of this then. And that's what I do here, trying to make sure I stay at least in P3. We get a good run out of this corner, and this is where I can then use that advantage. So overtake, use the slipstream as well as we go towards the inside. Going to be outside for turn 2, of course, here as we go on the inside here for the first part, outside for the second part. As long as we maintain position, we should be good here. Can we do it? That's the question. Oh, we're still alongside here as we continue on. Use that overtake button that bit more. Make sure it's mapped as well. As we go into here, though, I get a huge rear end in there, and it damages my rear wing, and I do cut the circuit. But fortunately, I don't get a penalty. Maybe they've introduced that again. I have no idea. As we head towards the left-hander now, and I've got dirt on my tyres. I've got damage as well as we go into here, so I've got a slight tap. We've got to be careful as we go through here. We get another tap and then another tap as well. It was very frustrating, and somebody got walled there from me just being absolutely tapped. So apologies to whoever that was, but I'd just say that was definitely not my fault, and arguably the Dutch driver's fault. However, we will have a look in the bloopers, of course, as they go a bit deep here, and we're going to try and get on the inside of them as we continue on through, and they are struggling out. They look like they're out of damage as well here. Remember, when you have damage, your car just goes slower automatically. As we go to the hairpin, we get hit by them again there. Please stop hitting the rear quarter of my car. Please, please, please. I'll say rear quarter, just the rear end. It wasn't even the quarter. But with that damage, we're going to be very slow down here with somebody behind. Matt's power there with the slipstream and the overtake. Clean up by as quick as you like. So head over towards the racing line there, and you can see there two more drivers trying to go through. Velasa goes through. Blue Racers alongside. Does back out of it though as we go into here, and we're down to P4. But arguably, we've survived that carnagey lap. So, lap number 5 here, we're going through the... Oh, Velasa! That was so close. Well held there, but it's so common to do here in these cars on this circuit. The grip just doesn't feel loud on the exits. It might be the bumps, to be honest with you, on this circuit. You just accelerate and, you know, the wheels spin up, you go flying straight away. Especially on the exit of here as well. That can happen as well as we continue on through. So, we're still at P4, still fighting though. Looking for some slingshot. Can we do it? So we start to use the overtake button. You can see here we are catching. We catch, so I think, okay, I'm going to have to go for this now. So I'm going to absolutely send it here down the left-hand side using the slipstream up ahead. And look at that. We just get past here. Absolutely send it into the chicane as we continue on through. So we're back up into P3. Max power with a penalty then as we go on the brakes in towards the left hand. You've got to be so careful here. Now you've got to really go off throttle. Max power there trying to drift it round. Doesn't quite work there. And Max power does an infamous 180 or 360. He enjoys doing both. Right, Velasa and me are going to have a final lap battle then. You see here, this is the penultimate lap, but we're at the end of it. So Velasa gets that slingshot as we go into the chicane. So what can we do here? Can we actually overtake Velasa is the question. So we get towards the end of the race. Velasa had some good speed there. Notice I tried to send it into the chicane. Didn't really work out there at all in terms of trying to carry the speed through. So we are going to come home in P3. A very crazy race. Do expect a lot of crazy races here this week because the walls are so close. The Kerbs want to kill you. The sausages want to kill you. The circuit wants to kill you. It's a very deadly circuit in my opinion, this one. 6.5 out of 8. All the details down below in a pinned comment as per usual. And we're going to jump to a lap guide now. This lap guide brought to you by Coach Dave Academy and the Delta app. You can see I'm using that Toyota down that bottom right hand side, plus 5 brake balance as well. And as we head towards turn 1, right behind the Coach Dave Academy app there is the orange painted barrier. This is your brake marker for turn 1. I want you to use second gear for turn 1. I want you to trail brake into this one as well and use a lot of the curb on the inside. This curb is safe to use, and I will point out the ones that are safe. So you can see I use it there. We then get to this point here. I need you to brake really early for this corner. If you try and remotely try and outbrake yourself here, you're going to run wide. It's going to cost you time. You want to get it slowed down early, get it on the inside, clip the curb on the inside, and you're looking to just get out of this corner as quick as possible. So before I start the curb, hit the brakes here. Notice that trail brake. I'm trying to get this turned. Happy days. Instantly on the throttle. A little bit of oversteer there, but then I catch it. Then I go 100% throttle. We're going to continue into this chicane here. Now, this chicane, really fun. Really, really, really fun to get right. So the first part of the curb isn't going to... Well, it can spin you out a little bit. And the second part, as long as you're in 4th gear, you're fine. The 5th board on the left is your brake marker. What I want you to do, because you can't see it as well, I want you to hit the brakes, drop to 3rd gear, clip the inside, and then accelerate a little bit more over towards the left. Notice I go 4th gear. It's just safer to do that. It's a little bit slower, but it's safer to do that than remaining in 3rd, because I feel like you will spin out more and more if you stay in 3rd. We get to the next chicane then. We've just gone past the 100 board. On the right there, we've got like a marshal post, orange painted barrier there. Or not barrier, on top of it at least. That is your brake marker. I want you to brake later here. I want you to turn in late as well. You don't cut this one. If you cut this one, you're going to go flying. Clip the curb nicely. In 3rd gear, lift off a little bit as you go through there. Straighten up the steering as quick as you can there on the exit. If you keep turning, even remotely there, the wheel will spin out. There's some bumps there that really spin the wheels up, and you do have to be careful. We get to this moment here, which is the 100 board. We're braking just after the 100 board here. And once again, we've got some very deadly bumps on the exit and some sausages on the inside of the curbs, which are not very nice at all. So you brake just after the 100. You want to just slightly tap the one on the right, and then you want to straighten up the steering as best as you can, okay? And that's what I'm aiming to do here. So don't touch the left sausage. Notice there, I'm straightening up, heading towards the wall. And that's just to make sure the rear end has grip and I don't go for a power oversteer moment. I'm going to head towards the hairpin then. I've highlighted the 100 board on the left. I don't use that. I use the grey part on the right there. I don't know if it's grey box. There's a grey shading there at least. Very obvious when you're racing. As that hits the edge of your screen on the right hand side, I want you to hit the brakes. Now, I don't want you to turn in too tight here. You do want to be a little bit tight, but not too tight. Notice I stay out wide a little bit longer. I go for a slightly later apex. That's better because you can be straighter on the exits and just bolt out. Being second gear on the exit as well. First gear to second is very slow because you just hit the limiter. Second gear is a better gear to be in on that exit. We get to the final chicane then, the 100 board and the orange bit there on the barrier on the left-hand side is your brake marker. Now for this, you want to drop down to third gear and potentially go up to fourth then on the exit. You could do this fully in fourth as well if you carry enough speed. It's just whether you can carry enough speed. So I'm doing it in fourth here. I clip the sausage, I avoid the second sausage, I straighten up and off I go. I could have done that quicker, but it's so hard to get right. It's very easy to bounce off one of those sausages and into the barrier. 19.3, plenty of time in my lap, and I need to learn that track a little bit more. So here we are at Yas Marina, the other new circuit in Gran Turismo 7, and I'm in that Citroen, well, GT by Citroen, should I say, the Group 4 car, obviously, because it's the meta car at the moment. We have 5 laps at Yas Marina, which is quite a long distance race. Custom slipstream, rolling starts, racing hard tyres, and you can adjust the brake balance in these cars. The Yas Marina does have some limitations here then. Now, in terms of the statistics here, dash, we've not used it before, of course. Issues, some of the off-camber corners can really catch you out there, and it is hard to catch up to other drivers, as well as track limits being an issue on a few corners. I haven't written track limits there, but trust me, it's an issue, and you will see that on some of the top replays. I didn't, however, abuse track limits, and I'll show you a lap guide straight after this race. But speaking of the race, let's jump into this one, and let's have a look exactly what happens. We are then at the start of this one, and we're starting down in P13 for this. Now, the rolling start starts before the last corner, so some people have a bad start, which is ridiculous for a brand new circuit, if I do say so myself. That definitely needs fixing and a poor showing. Now, if you are enjoying this video, as always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, give it a hype if you have the hype button available to you. I would appreciate that, as that all supports the channel, and if you like it, it tells me you like these videos. I'll keep making them. Now, we're down the second back straight here at Yas Marina. We have a McLaren in our left, left wing mirror, should I say, but it's actually the rear view, isn't it? So that's going to go clean on through here. What a brilliant move there by Velasa in the Ferrari liveried McLaren. Yeah, that's not at all contentious, is it? As we continue on through here, over towards the right hand side and in towards the hotel section as we slow the car down. Now, we jumped into this race with about 30 seconds left, most of these people, because we all did Daily Race C. So we normally do CBA in terms of the order, and Daily Race C is a long race. So 30 seconds, never done Group 4 here at Yas Marina, so I was using the Renault Espace braking markers, which apparently worked out okay, as you're seeing right now. So we tried to get the inside of Mario Sonic there. That didn't quite work as we go through the right here, just trying to settle a car there. That's what can happen if you don't settle a car. Mario Sonic demonstrated that beautifully. Thank you, Mario Sonic. I do appreciate that. But here we have a run of Mario Sonic, and I noticed just enough room there for 2 wheels to stay on the circuit. So I go on the inside here, technically pulling a Norris, aren't I? As we go into the left-hander then, the long left-hander. Because it's so long, if you get on the inside, usually you can keep position if you can maintain that speed. We've got somebody off in the distance there. No idea who that is. We'll we can look at that one in the bloopers, of course. As we head down towards the left-hander once again, Max Power there with a 0.5 second penalty on the outside as we continue on through here. Never Quit there up ahead also has a 0.5 second penalty. I actually have no idea where the penalty line is at this circuit, so we'll find out together here as we head down towards the chicane that breaks up these straights. As we're looking where to go here, we go on the outside of Max Power, but it's not really going to work here, surely, as we go into here. Marisonic keeping in touch behind as well as we go through the right-hander. Over the bump we go. That sausage can be dangerous, actually. It can lift the cars in certain ways. We've got, oh, there we go. The yellow bar's showing, so that explains to me that the slowdown is on this straight here. There it is. They go to the right-hand side. Good sportsmanship there from both drivers as we continue on through. So Mario Sonic right behind me now. I took the racing line here in the hope that I can maintain position. Let's see what can happen then as we continue on through here. Look at this. The Citroen just loves to rotate, keeps rotating through. We're side by side with Mario Sonic right now. Some good racing happening here as we go go over towards the right-hand side. It's going to be another right-hander, then another one. So we should have the position. There we go. On the brakes we go. Velasco looking to get a move done on the Hoggy there. McLaren versus Genesis up ahead. Over towards the left-hand side we go. This off-camber corner, it just feels like it's pushing you off the circuit, especially this part here. The barrier just gets ever closer, but you need to get as close as you can to really maximize the straight line speed of these Group 4 cars. As we go to lap number 4, just before the back straight, then you can see how close we are now with Leclerc and Hamilton's face on the back of that McLaren. We're going to head over towards the left-hand side. This was a bad decision by me. I really should have bump drafted. I have no idea why I did that, other than the 4 hours sleep, where obviously I'm struggling to concentrate a little bit here. That's the only reason I can think of. I didn't bump draft, because I really should have. As we go into here then, and over towards the right we go. You saw how powerful the slipstream is in Group 4 there. Velasco was able to maintain position, even though I got the slingshot off the previous corner. Now we're under threat from Mario Sonic behind. We're trying to get in that slipstream. We're just out of it right now. We're going to head towards the left-hander once again. Can we maintain position is the key. Yes, we can. Look at that. Beautiful stuff. Over towards the left-hand side we go. And we are still in P11 right now. So you're seeing some racing here. It's just difficult in Group 4 because once you're in the slipstream train, nobody really makes progress unless you're fighting the person at the front of that train. At number 5, nothing much changed, so we do finish the race right there. 6 out of 8 in terms of this score. That actually has changed. If you look at the pinned comment, that score has gone down because of track limit issues. Right, here we go then with the Coach Dave Academy lap guide for you. I brought to you as well with the Delta app. Make sure you do check out the Delta app in the pinned comment and in the description down below. Turn number 1 then, 3 markers. You got the orange on the right, you got the barrier on the left where it crosses over there, and the 100 up ahead. The reason I don't really want to focus on the 100 is because that can get wiped out very easily on that right-hand side. Trail brake in there. Avoid going too far with the cut. As you see there, I hit the sausage. That cost me a bit of time. We get to this point here, and you can see where the paint is sort of like off-center slightly. But what I want you to do is follow this black line. This is your racing line, okay? And it's the perfect line to take for this next left-hander. And I want you to cut the inside of the next corner. You're not cutting it illegally because you're staying on the curbing, which is absolutely fine. In Gran Turismo, curbs are track limits. We go over towards the right then. We lift off a little bit. Again, trying to make sure 2 wheel stays on the curb there. You may have to lift a little bit longer in terms of the inside just to make sure you don't understeer off the circuit. There are track limits on the exit of that corner. We head to this point here then, and the start of the curb just before the 50 board on the right side is your brake marker. Now for this corner, I highly advise you point towards the corner a little bit. You should be aiming to be in the middle of the track as you approach this corner now. So you're on the right, you aim towards the middle as I'm doing right now, then you're going to release the brakes and go for a late apex. If you do that, you go on the throttle early, use all the curb on the exits and make sure you're back on the circuit. Track limits are being abused there, and I believe PD are looking at bringing an update fix for Yas Marina and these track limits, so do keep an eye out for that. We're going to head towards the chicane then. So on the right, we've got the 150 in the start of the curb. It's after this, okay? And on the left, I've highlighted it. It's very hard to see, though. You can see sort of like a building or like a shed or whatever it is on the left-hand side. You can use that as a brake marker as well. But you're going to hit the brakes. You want to overslow for this corner, okay? You really need to cut this. Get as far left as possible. Line up to second gear. Lift slightly as you go over that sausage and then accelerate through. Be careful on the exit there. It is very slippy. Very easy if you're still turning to just spear out towards the right-hand side. We get to this point here, so we've got the white line, which is the sector time, essentially, and we've got the 50 board up ahead. The sector time line there, this is your brake marker. The 50 is a bit too late, in my opinion. Similar to just before we got on the first back straight, you aim towards the corner now, you go hard on the brakes. As you get there, you start to release it. Let the car roll a little bit, and then as that advertisement gets towards the top of your screen, you're going to start accelerating. Because you've allowed the car to roll all the way to transition to the right side of the car, when you start to accelerate, the rest of it will go there and the car will just rotate and go around. And you won't really need to lift either. Watch what happens here right now. Am I lifting? No, you can do it flat out. Happy days indeed. And over towards the left, not fully to the left though, and then towards the right. And then I want you to turn towards the right. And yeah, I really want you to cut that bit there because we're looking to brake just before we get to the end of the curb on the right hand side. Now, we're going to brake 100% towards the outside of the circuit. So we're going to brake in a straight line, but it's diagonal right now. And then as we want to turn, we're going to release the brakes to then turn into this corner. And the weight's already going to be loaded then and ready for us. So we start to release the brakes. So instead, we clip the corner a little bit. We accelerate now, and we're going to dab the brakes right here. You need to be braking before you get to the start of this curb. The reason for that is it's off camber, this corner. So if you're not already turned in, you're going to run very wide on this corner. You lose tons of time. You need to turn in very early here. Allow the corner to then drag you out towards the outside. You just want to keep the weight in one place. So notice we accelerate. We're going to go up to third gear. We lift off. And notice there, we didn't stop turning the entire time. It does go straight on the track, but we didn't stop turning. You need to keep the weight in the right position. Through the right we go then. We lift off a little bit because I got a bit scared of running out a bit too wide there. And our final brake markers are between the orange painted barrier and that pit lane sign up ahead. It's in between these two markers. Highly advise you brake early here, so start with, brake as the orange painted barrier disappears off the edge of your screen. You're going to drop to second gear, okay, and then as you release the brakes, you're going to come in, and then you want to short shift to third gear, and then just be careful about running too wide on the exit. At the moment, people are running very wide and abusing track limits, but I give you the legal lap, and you can see there quite a fast time as well, and a ghost you can follow. We jump to Daily Race C then, where we're at Fuji, and I'm in the old Ferrari, which I'll explain in just a second, but the new Ferrari is choosable as well. 15 laps here on custom slipstream. Rolling start. Races soft and hard tyres, both are required. Times 3 fuel, times 4 tyre wear. And of course, you can adjust the brake balance here in Group 3 machinery. Now, in terms of the key statistics, before I get into the Ferrari choice, here they are for Fuji then. So we've used this track 17 times, 5th overall. Track car combo 5 times, it's 24th overall. And last used on the 18th of August 2025. So it was quite a while ago, so I can accept a Fuji choice here. In terms of issues, there are big tyre differences between the soft and the harder compounded tyre. And the pit lane does require you to brake. You need to remember to brake for the pit lane or you're going to go crashing into the barrier. So why did I pick the 458? Well, to be honest with you, and I've mentioned it already twice in this video, I had 4 hours sleep last night. I completely forgot the new car existed. So I'm in the old Ferrari. Everybody's in the new Ferrari. Fun and games. Let's see how good this Ferrari actually is in the race. Right, here we are then at the start. We got Chelsea in P2 in the McLaren, and then we have a lot of 296s, and I'm in the 458. So let's see how this 458 does versus the newer 296. If you are enjoying this video, as always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content, and remember, hit the hype button if it's available to you. And already, the 458 has got a run on the 296 here of Villas as we head towards turn 1. We are on the inside here. Do we get it stopped? Yes, we do. And are we through? That is the question. We've got to give some room on the exit there as we continue on. But the 458 still a match for the 296s. A bot looking very good so far as we head in towards the left-hander. Do we get it stopped? We do. Oh, it's so tight when you're side by side. We are up a place already as we continue through the long right-hander in towards the left. We are fast forwarding this right now. This isn't our normal speed as we go onto the brakes. Earlier than normal there on the brakes, and I've started on racing hard tyres if you haven't noticed already. So with the choice of tyres, highly recommend you pick the harder compound if you're further back in the pack, and then pick the softer compound later. Arguably, you should pick the softer compound later irrespective, because if you do that, what will happen is you'll have a lot less fuel. And if you've got a lot less fuel, you'll have less tyre wear, which means the softs will last that little bit longer as well. Remember, there is fuel usage in this race. We're going to continue then towards the end of this lap. Down the inside of Mario Sonic we go, taking a tight line. Not normally the best line on the exits. As you see right there, the 296 of Mario Sonic keeps that position right now as we head to start lap number 2. So we'll fast forward this bit then. We are maintaining some speed here with the 296 as we go hard on the brakes. We're looking around the outside here of Mario Sonic. Very hard to do there. We've got mass power in a Lamborghini. So nice to see the Lamborghini in action here as well. We'll go to +5 brake balance there as we want to make sure we didn't want to lose out on tyre wear. But I'll put it back to +3, and I'm pretty sure I'll go back to +5 later on in the race because the fronts are the one I'm concerned about, to be honest with you, in this car. If the rears go, I can sort of control it, but as long as the car turns in, I'm happy. And for the car to turn in, I need front tyres to exist. So, yeah, +5 is probably going to be the best brake balance for you here. We're going to continue on through then, still in the racing action then. Max power up ahead in the Lamborghini. We're still alongside Mario Sonic right now as we head down towards the chicane then. What moves can we do here? And of course, it's costing us some time versus the leaders. But hey, this is all good fun racing as well, which I do enjoy as we go into here then. We saw it down. Max power's compromised a little bit here. Going to have to give Mario Sonic some room. And I see that, so I'm like, okay, I'll have some room too. Cheers, Max power. Oh, we go into P12. Happy days indeed. So the 458 is still very competitive here. Arguably one of the strongest cars at this circuit, as the 296 also looking very good indeed as we go through that left-hander. We're going to continue on out then in P12. And we're still in the fight there. We can see all the way up to, what's that, going to be P3 or something like that, which is good. We are in the race here. We are in the race. It's all about when do we pit as well. We get a better inside line this time. Look how close we are to Mario Sonic then as we head towards the line and start lap number 3. I give Mario Sonic a bit of a bump draft here because I noticed there is a gap to the in front of the Belgium to Ugandan. And Mario Sonic goes deep as well. So guess what? 2 for 1. We take those. Happy days. And I do give a bit of a smile there, but I've already advanced on. Never mind. Lap number 5. Here we go then. So we catch up to the next pack finally. And nearly rear-end the Austrian there. I apologise for that if I scared you a little bit. But I didn't mean to do that. This Ferrari, very good on the brakes apparently, the 458, as we head towards the left-hander then. But we're staying in this fight. Notice there we've pulled up massive gaps to the cars behind. We've got some pace in the 458, so the car still works if you want to use this old car. I advise you try out the new car because it exists and it's nice to have a new GT3 car in. Now that driver there went off the circuit, struggling with dirty tyres, so we go up into P9 then, so that's another position gained. And next up, Batman is up ahead. Hopefully there's no Robin there to chuck anything at us, but even so, let's find out what the Italian's going to do there. Goes defensive, so I go for a wide line this time on the final corner. This is give me a run off the corner. Let's see how well I do this. I get really good bounce off the car actually. Oh, the Lamborghini nearly loses it and nearly got an accidental bump draft from me there. However, we took avoiding action. They stayed on the racing line and we are now up into P8. Lovely stuff. We are really advancing far in this race. Now, Batman actually is going to help me out here and give me a bit of bump draft because Batman is a good man. And I see a thumbs up there from me as well. I appreciate that as we continue into the left-hand. At lap number 6 now. So at this moment in time, I am thinking about pitting as Uganda Commando is off the circuit right now. Full on dirty tyres as we head towards the chicane then. And because of that, I'm going to go for this. I'm always going to go for this at this moment in time. They have to brake early here. If they try and brake at the same point, they're going to go really wide. And Ugandan does give me some space on the inside there. We exert a little bit more as we go through left-hander. And Ugandan actually maintains position. So I'm looking to try and get on the inside again. Here we go. Can I do it? As we enter the right-hander. The dirty tyres will go about now. So Ugandan should have clean tyres from this moment in time. And at this point, I have to go, okay, I didn't actually get the position in this scenario. But let's see what we can do as we head towards the start-finish straight. Oh, more sideways action here from Ugandan. Okay, down the inside we go then. So we head on to that start-finish straight. And I can see up ahead, somebody dives to the pits. In fact, 2 cars are dived to the pits. So I'm thinking, okay, should I go in the pits right now? So I head over towards the right-hand side. And then I go, well, do you know what? I've got clean air. It might be worthwhile me saying that. Just that one more lap. So Ugandan follows suit as well. The Greek driver is the only one who goes in. The other car who is behind the Greek driver stays out as well. Ugandan going for the move then down towards turn 1. It shows you the run you can have with a slipstream here then, as we're going to go hard on the brakes right now. And are we going to try around the outside? Very difficult to do here on turn number 1. Ugandan gets his stop beautifully though. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So we're going to go for the run to the next corner. Now, I always highly advise never go side by side into this corner unless you know the driver is clean on your inside. And I know Ugandan's clean, so I take the risk here. And my word, does it pay off for me? And do you know what? Ugandan, round of applause to you, mate, because that was awesome racing. Gave me just enough space. Beautiful racing. I enjoyed that very much so. But Ugandan's still there, though. I can't just, relax now. Ugandan wants to position back here. You can see that as we go through this left-hander. Once again, I'm thinking about the pit stops later on. We're having a good race here. It is costing us some time, though, and I have to keep that in my mind here as we head down towards the chicane. So we advanced a bit further on. I kept the position from Ugandan and decide I am going to go in the pits. So in terms of the pits, what you need to do here is just stab the brakes a little bit, chuck it right, and then you can cut a little bit to the left here, and you won't get a penalty for crossing that white line. So keep that in mind then. We come into the pits, and we're changing to the soft tyre. So we did 7 laps on hard. We're about to go on the soft tyre, which then means we're going to do 8 on the soft, and it should last. It should last in that calculation, or at least in my calculation, which is never the best. In terms of braking to turn 1, 50 board on your left-hand side, nice and easy here, and you'll be fine out the pit lane. So I'm not going to stop the video there to show you the 50 board. Just brake at the 50 board. It's absolutely fine. So we're going to advance a bit here. Sparks and the Greek driver came in from the softs onto the hard tyres. I knew that. I saw what they went in with when I saw them go in. So I took full advantage of this then. I knew I had to be aggressive. So I went around the outside of Sparks here. The Greek driver, I know he's on the harder compounded tyre. So it's all about me now trying to make sure I get past them as quick as possible. Ugandan's come in the pits a lap later than me now. So Ugandan has 1 lap fresher tyres. And I have to keep that in my mind here as I race through here. I have to be aggressive. I have to be firm with my decisions and make sure I do actually capitalize on those decisions. We continue on out here though. The Greek driver is still racing me here as we head towards the right-hander. Knowing full well I've got more grip, I just send it round the outside and we get the job done. We're up into P7. You can see there the Polish driver in the lead has actually gone to lap 9 on the softs, which is very impressive indeed. Shadow had a bit of a joke with me at the start of the race, said wrong Ferrari, Tidge. Apparently I'm in the right Ferrari because I'm about to overtake you as we head towards turn 1. And are we going to get this done? Yes, we are. Oh, it's close, it's close. As we continue on through, yes, now it's a job done there. I suspect Shadow is actually on the harder compounded tyre as well. Yeah, it's the right Ferrari by accident, but I'll take it. So we've got Shelty and Muscaffi now. So this is the fight for the podium. Can we get the podium is the question. So Shelty's in the McLaren up ahead. Now, arguably, I could have gone for this and be really aggressive because I know Shelty will have been on on the soft, was on the softer earlier and on the harder compound now. But I didn't want to because Shelty's my teammate. So I was just like, you know what? No, I'm not going to send it. I'll just overtake in the right spot at the right time. So as we go through here, you'll notice that I'm right behind Shelty right now. And I was expecting Shelty to defend there, but didn't. Shelty was just taking the race in line. So I was like, okay, I really need to get the job done. So I oversaw the car there because otherwise I hit Shelty. But it allows me to just get straight and just point the car out the corner. And you can see here, I've already got past Shelty doing that strategy. So that's good stuff. It did cost me a little bit of time here. I think it cost me a second on this lap. But even so, the right way there. And I didn't compromise my teammate too much of Shelty as we go into here. Then I'm going to accelerate a bit more. Now, that indicates a bit of Mascaffi. I wasn't sure whether that was for me or not, but I was like, okay, I'm going to take it anyway. I'm going to just send it down the inside. And I do that, and we get the position. I think Mascaffi's very well aware I am on the soft compound tyre. I caught up very quickly, and I did have the fastest lap until Max Power stole it. So, final lap here, final sector. Ugandan did catch me up with the 1 lap fresher tyres. Can Ugandan get me, though, is the question as we go through this left-hander. Ugandan is so close. Remember, we've got the run to the line with Slipstream. Okay, so I keep a very tight line here. Ugandan goes for the full. Let's absolutely send it line. Let's have a look at that rear view mirror then as we continue on through here. Ugandan gets a bit of a wiggle. So he's going to be able to capitalise on that. Flashes his light as I suspect it's like, well played, Tidge. And I was also very, very happy with that. Round of applause there. Me and Ugandan had a fantastic race there. Really good fun. And it's a really good race, this. It really is indeed a long race. There's strategy in there. Great fun. Absolutely great fun in terms of that. And the score is down below for you as well if you are interested in that. 8.5 out of 10. Right, next up then is the lap guide. Brought to you by Coach Dave Academy and the Delta app. Make sure you do check out that app in the comment and in the description box as well. They do support the channel with this video partnership, and I really do appreciate it, and I'd appreciate if you check them out. So, +3 brake balance here for turn number 1. On the left-hand side, you've got the dark grey into light grey on the grandstand. I highly advise you use that for turn 1. We're going to go hard on the brakes right now. First gear, you want to clip the curb and then instantly go on throttle there. Straighten up the car and just make sure you don't go on the slippy stuff on the outside as we're going to continue on through to the fast left-hander. What we're going to be focusing on, though, is on the left-hand side there. The dark grey to white on the barrier on the left-hand side. What I want you to do is dab the brakes and chuck the car in, okay? The car will stick. The bollard may just chuck you out a little bit, but don't worry about that too much. You just want to make sure you get the car turning. If you delay at all here, you are going to cost yourself some time. I'm also in 3rd gear as well. I forgot to mention that. So we go up to 4th gear. Don't run too wide there. And as you get to this moment here, where the escape road is, I want you to start thinking about lifting. Let the car roll through this part of the corner. What's going to happen is the car's going to go out a little bit, and then you'll start to accelerate and then come back into the 2nd escape road. And only when you get to the 2nd escape road is when you're going to accelerate fully, okay? So notice there, we're lifting. We are trying to carry a bit of speed. We've gone out now. We're about to come back, and that 2nd escape road there, we're now full throttle. On the left-hand side, the end of the curb is your brake marker for this left-hander. 1st or 2nd gear is entirely your choice for this one. It is car dependent as well. However, with this corner, it's all about the exit and making sure you don't get any power oversteer. So the quicker you can straighten up the steering, the better the lap you're going to get. So I clip the curb there. I'm in 2nd gear right now. And look at that. I can just straighten up the steering and not a problem at all. Going to head down towards the chicane then. And this is where this Ferrari, I feel, is very good indeed, in my opinion. Because what we're going to be looking for, first of all, is for the brakes. On the right-hand side there, we have the orange painted barrier and the 100 board. You're braking just after that on the right-hand side, okay? Just after that, you're going to hit the brakes, brake in a straight line, and then as you get towards 1st gear, start to release the brakes and turn in. You want to cut all of the inside curb here to make sure you maximize the exit of the chicane. So notice as we release, we cut all the curb. We're going to accelerate a little bit, then we'll lift off and go to 2nd gear, just balance the car, and then accelerate fully on the exit. We head over towards the left-hand side. As the grass goes to the AstroTurf on the left-hand side, we're going to dab the brakes here and allow the car to turn in. 2nd or 3rd gear, entirely your choice. I can't remember what I do on this particular lap, but we will have a look in just a second. And you can see quite clearly where that is in terms of chase cam as well. So I do go to 2nd gear here. I clip the inside curb. I'm going to accelerate. Just be careful of oversteer there. That can happen. And the end of the curb on the left-hand side is your next brake marker. This is all about trail braking for this one. You're going to head out or towards the outside of the circuit for this, but you're going to be trail braking the entire time. Towards the end of the braking, you're going to drop to 1st gear, allow the car to rotate, and then you just have to be careful on the exit. Because the car is just rotating that much, it's literally going to want to power oversteer on the exit. So I go to 2nd gear there to try and avoid that. If you're in 1st gear, do expect some power oversteer. As we head towards the last corner then, on the right side, orange painted barrier, end of the barrier is your brake marker. You've got many ways to do this corner. You've got the very tight line that I showed you in the race at the very end. You got the middle of the road approach, and you got the very outside line. Take the very outside line to start the lap. Middle of the road approach is arguably the best approach here, and notice what I'm doing right now. So I stay out wide, and then come in, and then I'm trying to straighten the car as quick as possible. Just make sure you are straight before you're 100% throttle, otherwise you may get some power oversteer. This was actually a lap from a previous time, so that's a 37.593 there for you. And that is it in terms of that lap guide then. So let's go into some bloopers. First up, Huggy then. What happened to Huggy here as we go into here? Oh, Blue Racer and Huggy. I think they both went deep there, to be fair. Huggy's come back on. A little bit of a bounce. Sends the Super Formula car absolutely flying. No idea whether Huggy was going to make that or not and had to take avoiding action. I don't know. So we go aboard Kiwi then. So we saw Kiwi off as well. So we see the incident there between those two. Kiwi goes towards the right-hand side then to get the position from Blue Racer as we head down towards the hairpin. And they're going to go on the brakes right now as we go into here. Very tight indeed. As they accelerate out of this corner. Slight tap between the two of them. And then they go off. Look like traction control engaged as well. So that wheel spin on the exit. Very, 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 very annoying. And it will guarantee a spin if you do get it. So here's the Dutch driver then. So they just have to brake themselves into that corner. Obviously, I've got nowhere to go, so I go off the circuit then. So I'm going to continue on through here, over towards the right-hand side then. And the Dutch driver's now been overwhelmed as well after that. We get a slight tap there. They're going to accelerate. We get another slight tap, and then another one, and then another one. And then, yeah, we're just trying to catch it. So who was that? I didn't even see who that was on the outside. I think it was the Lasser who unfortunately got walled there. We jump to Max Power in Daily Race B. What happens to Max Power? We saw them way out wide, actually. So they go into here. They go a bit deep, trying to get the overtake on Huggy then as we continue on through here. And on the exit, the Genesis is going to understeer a little bit there. That forces Max Power off the circuit, but Max Power doesn't get a penalty. We go on board Huggy then in Daily Race. What happened to Huggy? We saw Huggy going wide at the chicane. So coming into here then, hard on the brakes. Oh, takes avoiding action. Well, that's good sportsmanship there from Huggy. Well played to you, mate. That is awesome stuff. And that's what TCR is all about as well. Do make sure you check out Huggy on YouTube. But that is going to be it for me now, folks. As always, if you have enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and give it a hype if it's available to you. Give videos there to check out, and make sure you do check out my partners down below, including Coach Dave Academy, who support this video, and it also supports the channel, as you do as well, by watching. So a big thank you for watching as always, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.